Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Generation Z podcast. This is episode 43, and in today's podcast, me and Marcus wanted to essentially provide listeners with a roadmap slash blueprint for how they can start to attack your 20s in terms of you've just come out of some form of education. You might be at university, or you might still be in a full-time job, but you are scared that you lack direction for what you want to do next. And we wanted to basically do an episode on a blueprint which will hopefully allow you to be in the best position that you can possibly be at the end of your 20s.
Yeah, so if you enjoyed today's podcast, then please do subscribe or follow us on whatever platform you're listening on. We also have a YouTube channel as well. If you want to watch the podcast, you can subscribe to that. And our Instagrams will be in the description, as well as the Gen Z Instagram page as well. But we'll jump in with the first thing. I think this is a big thing, like especially kind of what we're going through now, like finishing uni, kind of 2021, going into like quote unquote real world, I guess. And you kind of have the feeling like, right, I need to find a job ASAP, get my life sorted. Like you just got to kind of relax. This is what I was listening to Gary Vee talk about this, and it kind of woke me up a bit. I was like, shit, yeah, I don't actually need to have it all figured out. Like you have this idea that as soon as you finish uni, you need to be like, you know what you're going to do for the next 4 years.
Yeah. I think when people come out of uni, they think that they don't have a lot of time, but I think I listen to Gary Vee quite a lot, and what he speaks about a lot is patience. And you're coming out of so essentially, if you're kind of the same as me and Marcus, you're coming out of university at the age of 21, give or take a year. How much time do you have? You have at least another 80 years of life to live. Do not stress about tomorrow. But hopefully in this podcast, we can kind of help you plan for what you are going to do, because that would probably make you more anxious, not the actually doing it or doing anything after like education. Is then the opposite of that is just not doing it and just standing there and like waiting years, because you could be doing that for a long time and just not know what you're doing. So
I think like nobody really speaks about it that much, but everybody, from what I've seen, like the majority of people at uni and like people I hang around with and stuff, they're like, what do you want to do at uni? And nobody really has a clue what they're going to do. Like nobody really knows. It's like you all feel that kind of stress, but then everybody else is in the same boat. Let's be honest. Like,
100%.
I don't know where I'm going to be in 5 years' time, and barely anybody does. Yet we all feel the need to sort that out.
Yeah, nobody knows like kind of what job they're going to be in 5 years' time.
Yeah.
But I think what that 5 years gives you is a chance to then put yourself in the best position possible for when that comes around. So like being like the most competent you can be, having the most, being the most like resourceful and valuable to like a company if you want to go into a job, or if you want to do something by yourself, then acquiring the skills that you need to do that.
Yeah, and talking about that, another thing that Gary Vee says is like 20 should be used to just take risks, kind of thing.
That's it.
The way he puts it is like you've basically got no responsibilities, really. You know, like 20 to 30, you're not married, but you're probably not married. You don't have kids. You don't have a mortgage to pay. Like you might as well try something. If it doesn't work, you're always going to have a job, kind of thing. I think that's pretty important, because if you put a load of pressure on yourself, you finish uni straight away, you just get like the first job that comes to you.
Yeah.
And then 3 years later, you're so used to it, you're kind of stuck in that 9 to 5 cycle, and you're like, it's all you ever know, kind of thing.
Yeah. And before you know it, 3 years or every year you are in a job that you don't like, and you say, oh yeah, next year I'll get out, next year I'll do something. You get to about 60 years old and you're retired, and you're just like, I'm here
I'll get
now.
around to it next year.
Yeah, it's like I'll get back to I'll do it in another life. It's like no,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
not
Like
happening.
people just follow that kind of just like the norm
Yeah,
without ever questioning it. You know what I mean?
and
Like,
I think the norm is getting questioned, especially like now.
yeah, a lot
People are
more.
starting to realize like if I don't want to do a job, if I don't want to do this job, I shouldn't force myself to do it. Like there's a lot more opportunities that everybody has now to do whatever they want, innit?
Yeah, but that's kind of realization I think we had like this year pretty much.
Yeah.
Like you kind of you don't want to work from 20 to say 65 in a job you don't like. Surely there's got to be more to life than just sat in an office for 45 years doing a job that you don't really like. Like
Yeah.
surely, you know what I mean?
Or or on the other side of that, like doing a job, maybe it doesn't pay too well, but enjoying it every
Yeah,
day, like regardless what 9 to 5 job you're in, it's if you're doing that and paying for just daily expenses and stuff, you're not going to achieve like the financial freedom that you'd want to. So you might as well do something that you enjoy
yeah,
and
it's true.
live happy than
Mm,
like getting an extra like 10-15k for another job that you absolutely despise.
yeah,
It's weird
exactly.
like that, isn't it?
Yeah, but we've put down like three main points here. So we got physical, mental, financial. We'll jump in with the first one, which is physical. So if you haven't like started going to the gym or anything like that,
Mm,
it's massive. For
yeah.
we've both experienced it. Like just getting in the best shape you can, especially as you get like a little bit older. I think
Hmm.
kind of gives you a routine. You sort your whole life out around that. It just builds your confidence. You feel better. Like
That's why
so many benefits.
lockdown has been so difficult for like me and you,
Yeah,
is that like when you start to go gym a lot more, you make a routine out of going to the gym, don't you, essentially?
yeah,
So when you have all that spare time where you don't have that routine, it's quite hard. And it has like hurt a lot of people's motivation, including mine. Like I'm fucking sick of home workouts now. I can't
yeah,
stand them. But you still have to keep your body in check and still have that responsibility to just be at your best physical shape possible, because when you are in best physical shape, like we said it before in other podcasts, like you get a, like a halo effect, isn't it? It's like
mm,
you you're feeling good, like you look in the mirror and go, right, I'm proud of what I'm producing every day. I'm proud of like the growth that I'm making, and then that just automatically makes you feel good as well.
yeah, definitely. I think as well, it's almost just like a growing up thing. Like
Hmm.
you kind of just
Yeah, because you
stop eating
can
shit.
now.
Yeah, like
Because you can, like, obviously at an age when you were in school, like you're a teenager,
buy
there was no real
sweets.
need. Yeah, exactly. There's no real need to go to the gym. But
Yeah.
now, like, we're of the age where like our age group, boys and girls, enjoy going to the gym, I think.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I cannot stress enough like how much it impacts other areas of your life,
Hmm.
like especially the mental side. But as well as that, just investing. So one of my goals this year was just to invest in like general health more.
Yeah.
So just like I don't know, greens powders, omega 3s, multivitamins, something like that.
Hmm.
Something to consider for the future, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. People, I think, neglect that form of like physical health,
It's crazy, isn't it?
just like general vitamins and just like supplements
Because it's
to
too expensive.
yeah,
It's
exactly,
like
but like is
you
it
can't put a price on
what
your
you
health.
exactly? And like if you think about it, a tub of multivitamins is probably about £6. That's
Yeah,
the
it's
same
enough.
as a McDonald's. Like that's a
Yeah.
meal at McDonald's. You've got a month worth of vitamins essentially instead of one meal that isn't going to make you feel good afterwards, or it might. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But another thing as well that I started doing properly, like beginning of first lockdown, was just having like a skincare routine as well.
Hmm.
I don't care what anybody says; it's so much
Yeah,
better. Like
exactly.
I
Because
had shitty skin for so long, like spots and everything. Doing that completely cleared it up. you feel so much better.
Yeah,
Like
you
I know
probably
some
feel
people,
so much more confident, like,
yeah, literally.
now.
Sometimes when you wake up and you've got like a big spot on your forehead or something, it can actually like ruin your day because you think, oh, I look stupid. Everybody's gonna
Mhm.
look at me. You get rid of those spots, you're like, thank fuck.
Exactly. And I think it's just about like taking full responsibility for your physical appearance, as you said. Like, you weren't happy with your skin,
Mm,
so you did something about it.
changed it, yeah, literally.
And you can do that with anything, with like yourself physically. Like, for example, if you think that your teeth aren't white enough, or you want to get your teeth whiter, then you obviously go to somewhere that can get your teeth whitened.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like, if you wanted it that bad, then you do it,
yeah.
and you
Uh,
can.
that that comes down to prioritizing money as well. We'll talk about later, the financial
Mhm.
bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The second thing would be mental. So there's like the pretty common quote that knowledge plus action equals power. So start investing more just into your general knowledge and kind of kind of mental health as well. I'd
Yeah,
say
yeah, yeah, yeah.
through just
Definitely.
maybe like taking time to like meditate and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
as far as knowledge goes, like obviously we talk about it a lot. Books, easy one. Start
Mhm.
investing in yourself. People
Yeah,
people are too scared to do that, or just don't see the point in it. Which is crazy to
exactly.
me.
Yeah, if there's anything like in terms of like you want to improve yourself mentally, whether it's to overcome if you've been like stricken with fear or stress in your life, or you've just had poor self-esteem, there's a book for that. There's
Yeah,
hundreds of books for that. They're not expensive. They're around 5 to 10 quid. You can keep them. You can do whatever you want with them, but they will help you.
yeah,
100%.
definitely.
They've definitely helped me, like in certain like aspects of my life.
Yeah, huge, definitely. And one book that I'm reading just now is called The Compound Effect, and in there it was saying like if you're just like reading a couple pages of a book a day, or instead of just going for a walk and listening to music throughout your whole walk, just stick on a podcast for a little bit and learn
Hmm.
something.
Yeah,
Doesn't seem like much, but then you carry that out for like a year, and the amount you learn and like how better prepared you are for
yeah,
something or like some circumstance, or if you're listening to a podcast about confidence or something, like in a year's time you would have got so much from that compared to just listening to music, if you know what I mean.
yeah. And also, like, if you're listening to self-development podcasts all the time, like, it probably does get quite repetitive because a lot of people, many episodes probably do say like similar stuff. But I think that repetition
It's
of
key.
it going on in your head, like your brain, you start to rewire and just like
Yeah,
think
literally.
about things differently. And then that changes your behavior, that changes your emotions, that changes like literally anything. And you'd think that like, fucking hell, like, I keep listening to this. Yeah, I get it. But when you, that's the moment where you go like, right, I do get it.
Yeah.
You understand? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
no,
like,
I do get what you mean. Yeah, no, that's definitely, it's a good idea actually, because I actually think that the other day I was out for a
yeah,
walk. I can't remember what it was now. It was like some cliche quote though that I heard it
yeah.
again. I was like, oh my days, everybody says it. I was like, actually no,
And then you
that is
stop and then
actually
you go
true.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's actually
Kind
speaking
of
facts
realize
there.
why everybody says it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
But
think also like in terms of like the mental or mental part of like the blueprint that we're talking about, I think a lot of people, well, everybody has grown up being taught just basic knowledge in fields that, let's be honest, you're probably not that interested in,
not really caring
like
about.
geography,
Yeah.
history, like science, like just in order to pass that next test and get up to that next stage. But let's be honest, you probably haven't learned anything. You've just you've just memorized it,
Yeah,
haven't you?
I know what you
You've just
mean.
memorized it, but
So
you haven't
true.
actually learned anything.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to
Well, like
say
real
is
life worth kind of thing.
exactly, and that's what I was literally just about to get onto it. I was just gonna say
Yeah.
that life kind of starts when you stop education. If you think
So
about it,
bad.
like
Yeah.
after in at the start of your 20s, like, and you're out of uni or college or whatever, then you look around and be like, right, I've got no more form of education to do. The only thing that I can do is now get a job or like work for myself.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's true. Yeah, like
So after that, you've just got to start the learning,
Yeah, like
essentially.
a book that I've read, Rich Dad Poor Dad, kind of explains like how money works, talks about like assets and like liabilities and stuff, which is really important.
Mm-hmm.
You never get taught anything like that in school. It's
Mm-hmm.
great. And in there is actually a quote. It's like, school teaches you how to be a good employee, not an
Yeah,
employer, kind of thing, which is true. Like, you basically go through school, you go through uni to get a job.
exactly. Because like if as you were talking about assets and liabilities there, like that responsibility to control that part is probably quite high up in a business or in a managerial level.
Or just
If
in
you
like your personal life as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also, but like if you're not in a job where you have those responsibilities, then what's the point in learning them in the past? You know what I mean?
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if it's not, like, you need to start learning stuff that you can actually apply to what you want to do rather than just remembering stuff that you were taught ages ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Mate. But the third thing this kind of leads on quite well is actually financial. So just kind of understanding money, get a better idea of money. I know
Mm.
you've probably been through the first couple of years in uni of just figuring how much you can spend on like nights out to fit your budget.
Yeah.
It might,
Literally, that's the start. That's the first time I started budgeting was at uni, to be fair.
yeah, literally, just being like, especially the first year of uni, being like,
Nah, there was no budget there.
no, I budgeted first year of uni because I
Oh,
used to go
okay.
out like 3 times a week, and I was like,
Yeah.
if I go out 3 times a week, then I've got 10 quid left over for food. Sick.
Booze first, food after. That's how it
Awful.
works.
But yeah, like financial is obviously a big one. And I was listening to another podcast the other day, had a guy called Reese Wabara on it.
Yeah.
And he was basically saying like, if you've got money just sat in your bank account, it's actually quite pointless. Like, yeah,
So pointless.
yeah, like have some, obviously, like you do need some there just like day to day spending and stuff.
Hmm.
But the way he says it is like you should be putting that to use to make you more money. So you could obviously do that through something like stocks and investing, but also kind of investing in yourself. So maybe spend like 2 grand on a course and then that increases your income by 5k, or
Mm.
spending that money to start a business and that increases your income in the future type thing.
Yeah. Like, especially now, if you're got most of your money in a bank account, it's just wasting your time, and it's technically in the long run wasting you money,
Yeah, you're losing
because
money.
at the moment the interest rate is 0.1%. Like,
Shit.
what is that? That's just that is basically zero interest.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to say in this point is that you need to, or you should, try find ways that is going to increase your long-term wealth.
Mm.
So as you said, like, get investing in assets that are going to increase in value. So like stocks, like
Definitely.
2021 so far has been the year of outrageous increases in stocks, because obviously all that news with like GameStop,
Yeah.
AMC, all those stocks
Yeah.
just like being
Bitcoin,
pumped. Bitcoin is huge. People are actually
Tesla.
starting to realize that is like kind of the future.
Mm.
So I think you've got to get involved.
Money to
Like,
be made. Like, obviously,
there is money to be made.
do
Literally,
your
if you're listening to
research.
this
Yeah.
now, our one recommendation would be is understand stocks and understand cryptocurrency.
Yeah. Literally. Like, yeah, it is a bit of a pain in the ass learning, but then it's going to make
But
you money in the future. Like, I
cryptocurrency is the future. It's not going to be used. So you might as
now, but
well
mate,
learn to leverage it that now than just like get there in a couple of years' time and
yeah.
then be like, oh, what the fuck is all of this about? Everybody else is making money and I'm just not doing anything.
And as well as that, if you do invest a lot and you lose it all, then just blame Sam for telling you
Yeah,
to invest in Bitcoin. But yeah,
exactly.
like you can literally make money whilst you sleep. Like, you put it into the
That's what it's
right
all
stock.
about.
Again, like, make sure you do your research and find good stocks to invest in, or cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
If you invest well, you literally do nothing and you
Mhm.
make money from it. Again, it's in
Yeah.
that Rich Dad Poor Dad book. Like, each like dollar he says is like a little employee and put it to work to make it
Yeah.
work for you, kind of thing.
I
Good way.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like
it's a
that.
good idea. Yeah,
So I was just going to say that also, I think in terms of financial, to people that aren't going to uni, because obviously there are people listening to this that probably don't go to uni, and if you've got a stable monthly income at the moment, it would be good to create a budget which allows you to obviously finance what you want to do at the moment. There's not a lot to do at the moment, so you might be saving quite a bit at the moment, which is good. And just find ways to reinvest and make more money. And especially with like the stocks and cryptocurrency, it would be better for you to actually learn what it's all about rather than just going off recommendations. Like I've said get into crypto. Don't just put all your money into cryptocurrency and not know anything about it, because
yeah,
that just doesn't make
dangerous.
any sense. So just do basic research and just understand what it is, and and then you'll probably get into stocks and cryptocurrency, because I think a lot of people are doing that recently. I've seen that especially.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, just like a word of warning, like going into the stock market is literally just like gambling, no? Like
Exactly.
you never know where the market's going to go, so
You can
just
have
be
a
careful.
good prediction by
Yeah,
learning and
yeah,
understanding what it's all about, and then you can leverage that. But as we said, don't go off what some Instagram page has just
yeah.
recommended you to.
Forex trader.
Exactly. Or something stupid like that. There's no
Yeah,
point.
yeah. Like the classic quote: "Start young, finish young." It's that type of thing. Control your
Hmm.
finances whilst you're young, and you're going to have a lot of it when you're older.
Yeah.
But I think that's all for today's podcast, isn't it, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we'll just go back over in like a little conclusion what we've been through. So first of all, just like chill out. Like nobody really knows what they're doing. You're not the only one.
Hmm.
Then physical. Start getting to work on yourself, getting in the best physical condition you can. A little plug at MG Coaching, DM me on
Yeah.
Instagram.
I was about to say that. I should have done that at the start.
I should have done it at the start, mate. And then second would be mental. So knowledge plus action equals power. Read your books, learn stuff that's actually going to be useful for your life, not what
Yeah.
school taught you. And financial, start young, finish young, save money, make as much money as you can, and enjoy the rest of your life. But yeah, hope that was useful. If it was, then please do let us know. And if you enjoyed it, then please do subscribe and follow us on whatever platform you're listening on. And we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.